What's going on, guys? I missed you. Did you miss me as much as I missed you? Because I've just felt disconnected lately, you know? And it's actually kind of, been a little tough from a mental health standpoint. I've had to see a lot of therapists and, just being back in your presence, it helps me a lot. So thank you for being here. And what do you think of our new studio? Isn't this nice? Isn't this a nice new set? Does it look different than the other one? Well, I wonder why. Because this lovely, super kind, caring, considerate gentleman called Hurricane Ian decided to ruin our other office. So now we get the pleasure of working from our Port Charlotte location right here. So we get to do this after hours at very specific times, so we can still bring you content on Adult Day. Because that's why you're here, right? You want to start your very own Adult Day Center. Well, let's get into it. Because should you do the franchise model or should you do it yourself, DIY? But first, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Tell us what you think of this new studio. Give us a like if you like it. Don't dislike it. You don't want to know what's gonna happen. I'll find you, bro. Don't you worry. You better like that like button. Hit it. All right. Anyways, guys. So today, enough of the jokes. Hurricane Ian did screw everything up. But today we're gonna talk about: does it make sense to go with a franchise or to do it on your own? We get so many questions, and you guys have so many where do I start? What do I do? How do I do this? What are the first 7 steps? What are the first 10 steps? And a lot of times there's so much to it that depending on what your situation is, what your desire is, it could be different. And so what I want to try to do is break down why would a franchise make sense, or why would doing it yourself make sense? And what are some of the things that you would need to consider if you decide to do it yourself? And if you hear this really annoying beep in the background, it's because our franchise, because our fire alarm system is inoperable at the moment because Hurricane Ian screwed it up. Therefore, we get this pleasant little beep every so often because, there's a trouble signal with some of the zones, which, we got all sorts of videos on fire sprinkler systems and they suck. Anyways. So when it comes to understanding, does it make sense to do it yourself? And if you do decide to go on your own and do this yourself, there's going to be people that you're going to need involve in the process, right? And so on the franchise side of things, one of the things we're going to do is help you with the market analysis, give you that step-by-step plan as to what do you need to do. But when it comes to doing it yourself, you're really going to make sure that you need to find a good realtor in your market. Now, here's the thing. That realtor may not understand the adult day space. Therefore, you might have to educate that realtor on adult day or the things that you're looking for when it comes to demographics or the type of building that you need, because a lot of realtors may not understand what adult day is. And this is, again, another one of those things where when we're involved on the franchise side, we're helping you figure that market analysis out because we know exactly the type of space, where it should be located, the demographics and all that stuff, so it's done for you. Here, you're gonna have to educate the realtor on the process. You're gonna have to find a good realtor that's willing to work with you and that understands what you're trying to accomplish. We're gonna give you a step-by-step plan. And no, we're gonna help out with the site selection and the negotiation process. If you find a good realtor, they should be able to help you out with that too. Again, you won't know until you're in the process and you're like, oh, this guy's great, or gosh, we hate Bob. How did we get Bob? Where did Bob come from? Sorry, Bob, if your name is Bob. When it comes to finding a bank, you're gonna have, if you're doing this yourself, you're gonna have to find a different lending institution that's willing to lend or to give you money, to give you financing for this business idea. And sometimes banks can be a little particular. And this is why we always go back to the fact that when it comes to the franchise side of things, we actually have preferred lending providers. This gives us access to certain banks that we have a relationship with, that we're the preferred, that they're our preferred lender of choice because we already have proven systems and we're on the SBA preferred list, which helps all of our franchise partners get the financing they need to start their own adult day center. When it comes to doing it yourself, look, you are, Bob and Sue going into the bank, sharing with the banker your idea, but you don't have proven systems, or you don't have the exact like step-by-step plan as to how you're gonna do this. And so sometimes banks are a little like, unless you already have experience in the industry, if you've already done it before, banks can be a little standoffish. And if you hear this other new noise, this would be our water fountain that decided to kick on in the middle of this video. This is what you get in our new studio. I hope you like it. When it comes to, on the DIY side, searching, for an architect and engineer, that's going to be on you to figure that out. If you're going to have to do construction in the space, you're going to want to hire a good architect and a good engineer. The only potential problem with that is a lot of times if you're going to an architect or an engineer for the first time, it might take a few months of working with them to help develop the plans to actually, for them to like then complete those plans. It could be 2, 3, 4 months of time spent of them developing these plans to make sure that you're meeting zoning codes and all these different things, and that you've thought through the like floor plan and how it should be laid out and just all of this stuff, which you're gonna have to then present to the bank, get permits for, present to a general contractor. One of the nice things about working with a franchise like ourselves is we already have the architect and the engineers in-house. They already are familiar with our brand. They already know exactly what we're looking for. We work with them and we're able to get a plans, like kind of an initial floor plan, in and out within 30 days instead of waiting, 2, 3, 4 months. So this speeds up the process. And then again, we also have a relationship with, a general contractor who can help execute those plans that were developed by our architect and our engineer, and they already have a good working relationship and they understand each other. So it makes the whole process of working with the GC, working with the architect. If we have a plans change, if we're going through the process and we want to move this wall, take this wall out, add this room, it's very easy for our architect and engineers to work with our GC, and it simplifies the process and makes it much faster. Where on the DIY side, like, you better pray to God that you can be the mediator between your architect and engineer and your GC, because they typically don't like, the GCs like to build and architects like to complain about every little thing, But at the end of the day, like, this is gonna be additional responsibility on you to manage both of these parties and also to make sure that you pick the right one. Like if you've never hired a GC before, if you've never hired an architect or an engineer, it's hard to know what to expect, what's good when you're hiring an architect and engineer versus what's good when you're hiring a contractor. How do you know if you hire the right folks? A lot of times people won't know until they're too far into the process, and then they gotta go hire another GC to take over the project, and it can potentially lead to a mess and just a lot of frustration on your end and a lot of time delayed. So when it comes to the franchise side, again, we talked about the lender. We already have like built-in projections on an Excel spreadsheet that is gonna make your life easier, so you can kind of get an idea of like what to expect when it comes to your top line revenue and your expenses and understanding your projections. When it comes to doing it yourself and you're getting ready to go through the licensing process and doing the handbook, you're gonna have to hire potentially a consultant that is familiar with the adult day space, that can understand the laws and the rules and regulations in your state and can help you put together the handbook or the manual that you're gonna need for your adult day center, or whatever else that you might need for those licensing requirements, or to be able to operate an adult day center in your area, or to even just give you an idea of how to operate that and lead you along the way. So you're gonna potentially be hiring and spending money on a consultant to help you out with those things. You're gonna have to figure out and research your own software, from your electronic health records to your CRM. You're gonna have to figure out and design and plan your own activities and making sure that you have a full activity schedule, from the very beginning to the end of the day, and that you have this done on a monthly and quarterly basis. We're already gonna do this stuff for you. We already have the handbook. It's already completed. You're just gonna get a copy of it. We're gonna take care of all the licensing and the compliance and help you understand, are you in compliance? Do you have what you need in your market? We're gonna handle a lot of those licensing questions for you. When it comes to the activity side of things, we already have a program that we design as proprietary that is a done for you activity program. It actually goes on the screen behind us here, and it runs the entire activity program for the day, and it's beautiful. And it allows you, the owner, and allows your activity directors to focus on what they do best, which is just having fun. And you get to be a part of a mastermind, a collective group of folks that all believe and are passionate about the exact same thing. And they're all working together to make the organization better, to make each other better. And you can discuss all those trade secrets without worrying about, oh shoot, did we give something away we shouldn't have given away? No, this is the beauty of creating a mastermind within an organization together, that you're working on a common goal. If you're doing it yourself, you're gonna have to find like-minded individuals that you can pick their brain and you can work with, and hopefully they're sharing with you all the information that they're willing to help you along your journey. But sometimes they may not share it. Sometimes you might not find other adult day programs that are like-minded, that are trying to go after the same market or do this, a similar type of program that you wanna do. And then you're also going to have to research and vet all the vendors, where all of our vendors have been researched and vetted. When I was going through this list, I was like, oh my gosh, all the time that it took to figure this stuff out. I mean, I'm talking years of heartache and trial and error and money spent, in ways that we shouldn't have had to spend it, but we had to spend it because we didn't know any better, only to learn oh, that's the wrong way. We should have made our right-hand turn back there. Now let's go all the way back. Let's go this direction. And you spend all this money and time just figuring things out, beating your head against the wall, or you're step-by-step plan. Here you go. Steps 1 through 100. Here you go. It's served on a silver platter. We make life easy for you. We give you very understandable, here's your step-by-step process. Here's how long it should take. Here's what stage of the process we're in. Here's what to do at this stage and that stage. And you're just yay, business made easy. This is great. And anyone that's opened their own business and started from scratch and had to do it the hard way, trust me, they will tell you it's not as easy as it looks, and it can be very time consuming. And a lot of times people just underestimate the sheer cost of just getting a business started, especially if they've never done it before. And that's why it's important if you can go to someone that has done it, and then you can just follow their roadmap. Don't waste your time and energy. Just follow the plan. It just makes it so much easier. So anyways, guys, I know this was a little biased, and I have to disclose the fact that, we do have a franchise program through ActiveAge to make life easy for you. So if you want to open up your very own ActiveAge, you can go to activeagecare.com/franchise. But if you want to just, do it yourself, and you just you know what, I don't need anybody. I'm going to do this on my own. This is my dream and my vision. You know what? Hey, I got nothing wrong with that. I've been there. I've done that. I understand it. But I'm just warning you, it's not easy. Okay, and there's a lot of things you're gonna have to figure out, but we're here to help you too. And if you wanna learn more about opening your very own adult daycare and you wanna do it yourself, go to adcpro.com, join us for our monthly webinars, check out all of our YouTube videos, make sure you join our Facebook group, and we will see you on the next one. Peace. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel, click here. We'll see you guys next time.